while. We are back for our second leg of our triple header today. Now we're doing UFC for this weekend. We get a huge card.
Big card.
I'm super looking forward to it.
UFC 263.
Yep.
It's huge. Yep, we got 3 5-round fights, 2 title fights. It's going to be awesome. Fighting in Glendale, Arizona, in the Gila River Arena.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be wild.
Different arena this time.
Yeah. The Florida judges and the Texas judges have not been good to us, so hopefully the Arizona judges are a little bit better for us.
I hope so. Let's kick things off. Let's go right up.
Yep.
We got Carlos Felipe versus Jake Collier. Carlos Felipe is the minus 177 favorite. Jake Collier is plus 140. DraftKings has it 8,700 for Felipe, 7,500 on Collier. Felipe beat Justin Tafa and DeCastro in his last 2. Before his first fight in the UFC was a loss to Spivak. But his 2 wins are looking worse and worse as this time goes on.
Yeah.
Tafa did not look good in his last fight, and DeCastro looked like maybe the worst UFC fighter there is.
Yeah.
Jake Collier used to fight at, I want to say 170, but it probably was 185. He's now a heavyweight. He's just fat.
Right.
In his last fight, he beat another fat, blown up 205er in John Vellante. So it's not super impressed with him either. Low-level heavyweight fight. I got to go with Carlos Felipe here. I am going to lock him in as a bet as well.
Yeah.
He's a tough Mexican fighter with fast hands.
Yeah. I think I saw I think we saw Jake Collier fight what's the young heavyweight who fights out of the same gym as Darren Till?
I am not sure.
Whatever. I remember them talking about Jake Collier used to fight at 185, and yeah, he was fat as hell, and he got his ass absolutely destroyed.
Oh, you're talking about Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall, that's the guy.
Kicked the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and
Tom Aspinall's great.
Yeah, he is awesome. And they showed Collier back when he was at 185. He looked like he was in kind of good shape. And then,
yeah, he was.
And then now at heavyweight, he looks like he just drinks fucking 40 Bud Heavies every day.
It looks like he ate 2 Jake Colliers.
Yes.
So I got to go with Felipe there. I think he's worth a bet at minus 177.
Yeah.
He doesn't tend to score great on DraftKings, but I could see him finishing Jake Collier.
He is very finishable.
Next fight up, we got Faraz Ziam versus Luigi Vanderamini. This fight is nearly a pick'em. Ziam is minus 118, Luigi minus 106. 8,300 for Ziam on DraftKings, 7,900 for Vanderamini. Ziam in his last fight, if you don't remember, he fought Malarkey, and we were all over Malarkey in that one.
Yes.
And Ziam won a very controversial decision, despite getting taken down and taken down and taken down. They still had him win the fight. You could even see it on their faces afterwards. Ziam did not think he won, and Malarkey felt like he was robbed. Ziam is very young. He's 23 or 24 now. But Luigi's also very young.
Yeah.
Luigi's a tough guy. He's wild in there. Doesn't have the best technique. He does have some heavy hands. He lost to Zaleski dos Santos, which was a pretty good scrap up until Luigi looked like he hurt his leg. And then just got fucking train wrecked after that. So Dos Santos went in for the kill. But then he KO'd Ayari in his last one. And that's when I really noticed the deficiencies in his technique. I'm staying away from this fight. What do you think, Scotty?
I think it's a good stay away fight.
Yeah.
For sure.
Next fight, we got Chase Hooper for Steven Peterson. This is a pick'em. Both fighters minus 112.
Chase Hooper's beast. Young phenom.
He is
21.
young. He's very young. He is very skinny and inexperienced. But we'll see how this fight goes. This is almost a make or break fight for Chase Hooper.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're touting him as like a future fucking world beater.
Yeah, and it's because his jiu-jitsu is ridiculous.
Yes.
He beat Peter Barrett in his last one, but it was by a heel hook in the third round. He was getting beat by two rounds to none. Threw up a Hail Mary with that heel hook. Before that, he got dominated by Alex Kakaris.
Yep.
Looked like he didn't belong in the UFC.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And that was kind of that was also like a must win for old Bruce Leroy as well.
It was.
Because he was another guy who they were like, this guy is going to be the guy, and then he kind of fell off.
Exactly right. Steven Peterson is actually a trainer at Fortis MMA, so he is not inexperienced.
Right.
His last fight was a spinning back fist KO over Martin Bravo. Before that, he also lost to Alex Kakaris and Luis Pena. Luis Pena is not a good loss.
No.
He's not very good. One thing that concerns me about that loss is Pena is also very tall, kind of like Chase Hooper.
Yeah.
The problem with Chase Hooper is he strong enough to get this fight to the ground?
He definitely doesn't look very strong.
He's not.
No.
And that has me leaning Steven Peterson. It has me leaning Steven Peterson by KO.
Yeah. How much do you think Chase Hooper can deadlift? Like 185? Maybe? For two?
If he could deadlift 185, that's probably 70 more pounds than he can bench press.
Yeah. I feel like he might be like Kevin Durant, who can't bench press like 95 pounds.
Exactly. But Hooper could always get that heel hook on you.
Right. He does have some sharp elbows and knees, and he can just like slice his arms in around you. Doesn't need a lot of room with which to work.
This is one that I will definitely want to target on DraftKings, and I'll be looking for when the props come out, Steven Peterson by KO or Chase Hooper by submission. I think those are the ways to go if you're going to bet this fight.
Right.
Next fight, we got Frank Camacho coming in against Matt Frivola. Matt Frivola is the minus 215 favorite. Camacho plus 170. Frivola 8,900 on DraftKings. Frank Camacho is 7,300. This is some people love Matt Frivola, the steamroller. Yes. I'm not a fan, really. Are you?
I mean, he just lost to Arman Sarukian, but Sarukian is pretty good. He's
very good.
Yeah.
And he did beat Jalen Turner.
Yeah.
Which, that's a good win.
That is pretty good. I mean, I think he gets it done on Saturday. I definitely don't think he loses to Frank Camacho.
You know what's funny is when Frank Camacho came into the UFC, which was years and years ago now.
Yeah.
I was high on him. Thought he had potential. Did not pan out. He's lost 4 of his last 5.
Yeah.
All tough competition, though. He lost to Beneil Dariush, Jeff Neal, Drew Dober, The Leech.
Yeah.
Justin James is probably his worst.
Got TKO'd.
Yeah, worst loss of his career there.
Yeah, so definitely on the downward trend. It could be a situation where he kind of feels like his back is against the wall, and he comes out and just is going for broke against the steamroller.
Yeah, I could see that.
We've definitely been duped by like plus 170 favorites before, or 170 dogs.
That's why
we're like, all right, this guy's done, and then they're like a cornered animal.
Well, maybe the reason that Matt Frivola is minus 215 here is because he went to a draw with Lando Venata, according to Daniel Cormier and the UFC announcers, best fighter there is.
That's true. Yeah, they're super high on Lando Venata and the mullet.
Yeah. So I'm staying away at 215. The line's not right for me.
No.
For that fight.
No.
Next fight, we have Pannie Kianzad, minus 230 favorite over Alexis Davis, plus 180. Kianzad is 8,800 on DraftKings. Davis is 7,400. This is a lower. I don't want to even say low level because they're both decent for women's MMA. It's just not a very relevant fight for women's MMA at this moment.
Yeah. Alexis Davis is pretty old. I've definitely seen her fight a couple times before. I remember her being like...
Oh, yeah. She's had high-level fights.
36.
Lost to Chukagian, Jennifer Maia.
Yeah, Naruto.
Yeah, I mean, all good. Pannie Kianzad.
Kermouche.
Yeah.
That's a solid win.
Pannie Kianzad win over Sierra Eubanks, who I actually think is good.
Yeah.
She's on a 3-fight winning streak. She's going to need to keep this fight standing. Alexis Davis is going to go for the takedowns. I see Kianzad winning a boring decision, honestly.
Yeah. This screams like probably more boring than the Roman Dolizzi fight.
And at minus 230, again.
Yes, another stay away.
Yeah.
There's plenty more fights on this card.
Oh, yeah. Like this next one. Movsar Evloev versus Hakeem Dawodu. Evloev is minus 278 favorite, 9,200 on DraftKings, with Dawodu coming in plus 215 and 7,000 on DraftKings. This is two excellent fighters. It's an awesome matchup. Movsar Evloev is an undefeated fighter. He's 4-0 in the UFC. He has wins over Choi, Enrique Barzola, Grundy, and Nick Lentz. He's an excellent wrestler and striker, really. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, fucking, oh man. I mean, Hakeem Dawodu, he's got 5 fights in a row he's won going up against the undefeated Russian. I mean, this is going to be a clash of titans, I think. And fucking very athletic.
Oh, yeah.
So almost
they
worth
both are.
Yes. I think Hakeem Dawodu is definitely worth a shot at the plus 215 line that we can get on.
Completely agree. Was going to say I want to lock this one in at plus 215.
Yeah.
Evloev is good. He fights close fights, though.
Yes.
Against
And
Grundy
we don't know how these judges are going to be this weekend. So it is definitely worth taking some bigger dogs this week for sure.
And Dawodu's hard to take down. He's hard to take down, and he hits hard.
Yes.
So at 215, I love Hakeem here.
Yeah, I agree.
Next fight, we're back to the women's MMA with Lauren Murphy versus Joanne Calderwood. Joanne Calderwood at minus 134. Lauren Murphy at plus 106. On DraftKings, we got Joanne Calderwood at 8,200 and Murphy at 8,000. Calderwood?
I'm a big Joanne Calderwood fan, but she did not look good against Jennifer Maia.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see how she bounces back from that.
Well, she did. She came back with a win against Jessica Ai, which Jessica Ai, it's not the best win.
Yeah.
Lauren Murphy has 4 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Beat your girl Roxy.
Who hasn't these days? And
listen to this little nugget here. She fights out of Glendale.
Okay. That changes things a bit.
Yeah.
Probably friends and family are going to be there, and I think not having to get on a plane and fly fucking 4 time zones away is a very understated benefit.
It is, and we've been saying it here for a little while now. Joanne Calderwood is not a terrible fighter. but she is overrated because, like you said, everyone likes her. She's a very likable person, and that does seem to translate into her lines.
Yeah.
So Lauren Murphy,
I think she fights out of like Glasgow or some like shitty small town in Scotland.
Yeah.
And it's just like a factory town, and she's got that tough fucking Scottish brogue where you can't understand a word she's saying, even though she's still speaking English. And,
exactly.
And people just eat it up.
They like
comes in with fucking.
She's
cornrows.
always smiling. She's got a bubbly personality.
Yeah, she's like a nice lady.
And I think Lauren Murphy takes this one. I like her at plus 106.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. As much as I like Calderwood, I just haven't been super impressed with her last like 6 fights.
Yeah. That moves us on to a fight we've seen before. Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart. Anders is the minus 150 favorite over Darren Stewart at plus 120. Anders is 8,600 on DraftKings, and Darren Stewart is 7,600 on DraftKings. We saw this fight.
Yep, we did.
And Eric Anders was kicking the shit out of Darren Stewart before he was DQ'd for an illegal knee.
Those illegal knees, you gotta watch out for him.
I'm not quite sure why the line is only at minus 150.
Yes, Eric Anders is a freaking beast.
Well, I was on Darren Stewart. We had Darren Stewart in the last one. But after watching it, I don't see how you can not take Anders. He was winning. He was going to win that fight.
Right.
So I think it's Anders, and I like him. Minus 150. Got to lock it in. I'd say lock it in as early as you can, because after people do a little tape study and the sharp bettors come in, they're going to hammer it. Yeah. So take it as early as you can. We had a couple stayaways. Now we got a couple fights that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
We got Drew Dober coming in versus Brad Riddell. Drew Dober's minus 130, 8,500 on DraftKings versus Brad Riddell, plus 105, 7,700 on DraftKings. Love Dober here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah. He's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, but with the 2 losses against Islam Makhachev and Beneil Dariush, I'm not too concerned.
No. Yeah, he's lost to 2 of literally the best guys out there.
Yeah, and then if you look at Riddell's UFC track record, he is 3-0, but who does he beat?
Fucking Malarkey.
And Da Silva and Mustafaev.
Oh,
he's
boy.
a very low volume fighter.
Yeah.
I see Dober winning every aspect of this fight. I do. I think he pieces him up on the feet. I think he could maybe take him down. Dober, after that loss to Dariush, I think he realizes he's right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
His 2 losses are to the top of the division, so I like him.
Yeah, there's got to be a must-win for him.
Yeah, and it is. That's true, too. He'll take a big step down if he loses to Brad Riddell, which Brad Riddell has already stepped down for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Next fight up, we got Jamal Hill versus Paul Craig in a weird style matchup. Jamal Hill is minus 305, Paul Craig plus 235.
I'm excited for this one.
9,400 and Craig 6,800 DraftKings.
Yeah, and Jamal Hill has been doing a lot of shit talking on Twitter.
Has he?
This one. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Paul Craig's already an intense guy. I'd like to see him.
Yeah, and his jiu-jitsu is fucking insane as well.
Oh, yeah. Paul Craig, he throws up Hail Marys, and he'll get you.
Oh, he'll get you. The Bear Jew will get you.
What, he beat Shogun in his last fight.
Yeah.
An aging Shogun at that. And he beat Antigulov before that. 2 not great wins.
Right.
And Jamal Hill has only impressed. I did not pick him against OSP. And he looked great.
Yeah.
He's super athletic. What do you think, Scott? Are you taking the dog shot with Paul Craig in the So
I think this is either a stay away or throw a small bet on Paul Craig to get I would say stay away and then throw a small prop on Paul Craig by submission. Because if he wins, that's how it's going to happen. He's not going to win the decision. Jamal Hill is a super athlete, but I think the potential for Paul Craig to catch him in just like a shitty, sneaky heel hook or something like that is very real. And Paul Craig is already plus 235. What's Paul Craig by submission going to be? Plus 1,000?
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think Hill, if he has weakness anywhere, it's probably jiu-jitsu. We haven't seen that yet.
Right.
But if it's anywhere, that's where it's going to be. So
yeah,
I like that.
Or Jamal Hill by knockout or TKO or knockout.
Yeah, and I do think it is a must-have in DraftKings. You're going to probably need one of these guys.
Yeah.
Next fight, Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad. We got Damian Maia, the plus 180 underdog, against Bilal Muhammad, minus 230. Bilal is 9,000 on DraftKings, and Damian Maia 7,200. This is a fight. I like the dog. I like Damian Maia.
You can never freaking be too sure of a bet against Damian Maia.
No, because like you said with freaking Paul Craig, Damian Maia's jiu-jitsu will trap you.
You can never bet against him because anytime you have money on the other guy, you're guaranteed to have Damian Maia win.
Yeah, he'll just backpack you for the whole entire fight. Remember who did he do that? I can't remember who he did that against. He just backpacked him the entire fight. But Maia has only lost to the toughest guys. He lost to Gilbert Burns. He lost to Kamaru Usman. Yeah. Bilal Muhammad, on the other hand, was getting his kick shit in by Leon Edwards. And then Bilal Muhammad, it got stopped from an eye poke.
Yep.
He lost to Jeff Neal. And he's kind of a volume striker. He kind of is an accurate guy. He doesn't really get hit too much. He doesn't use wrestling all that much. Whereas Maia is going to try to grab him and drag him down. And I don't think Bilal has the power that threatens a guy like Damian Maia. That's basically Maia's kryptonite, is someone with power.
Yeah.
I don't think
someone
Muhammad
who can just thrust his hips and get him off him.
Yeah. Or knock him out. Or just one punch KO him.
Right.
And I don't think that Bilal Muhammad has that.
Yeah. And that loss to Jeff Neal is looking a little bit worse after he just got. I think he lost all three rounds to Neil Magny.
Yeah, bad too.
Yeah, it was not even competitive.
And then this brings us to our first 5-round fight of the night. We got Leon Edwards, huge favorite, minus 560, 9,500 on DraftKings versus Nate Diaz at plus 385, 6,700.
Yeah.
Edwards looked great in that last fight before the eye poke.
He did. And this is a great Leon Edwards will probably get a ton of name recognition for this fight. I mean, even though he's an absolute beast, but he's also still fairly unknown going into this. Versus Nate Diaz is an absolute household name. Like anyone who follows UFC, even very casually, has heard of him.
Oh yeah,
he's been around forever.
That persona, the Diaz brothers, they're fucking awesome. Who doesn't like them? You know.
Yeah.
He has the 2 fights with Conor, where, in his opinion, won both of them. I think he won both of them too.
I think he probably won both of them. I mean, he won the first one for sure at plus 350, something like that.
Choked him out.
And
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then the second one was a very close decision loss to Conor. What are you gonna do about that?
I think this is when you want Diaz, is when he's a dog like this, plus 385. I know Edwards is the cleaner striker, but the Diaz brothers have a way. Everybody was talking about how Leon Edwards in the Dos Anjos fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was years ago now. Don't forget that either.
Yes.
His ring IQ is so good, right?
Yeah.
The Diaz brothers, they both have a way of pulling guys out of their game plan. They just do it.
Yeah, that's true.
They fucking slap you in there. They talk shit constantly. When they're on the ground, they're either complaining or throwing up a submission. And this is when I like a guy like Diaz at plus 385.
Why not?
He doesn't count himself out. He's
never.
Got the confidence in himself. He's got the submissions. And believe it or not, Leon Edwards leans the takedown more than you would think. And against a volume striker like Nate Diaz, who could just go forever, I think he's going to need to use that wrestling, and I think he knows that. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But watch for a Nate Diaz sub.
I like the Nate Diaz sub prop bet because that's probably going to be. You can probably just buy yourself a new house if that hits.
Yeah, and it's a 5-round fight, which 5-round fights always favor a Diaz brother.
Yes. Triathlete.
Yeah, they are.
I'm pretty sure they do Ironmans. I know they do triathletes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do all the above.
Yeah. They do whatever they want.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker. But yeah, I like Diaz here. It's going to be a great fight. I can't wait. This is the fight I'm looking forward to the most.
Yes.
That brings us to our first title fight. Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno 2. Figueiredo is minus 250, 9,100 on DraftKings, followed by Moreno, who's plus 195 and 7,100 on DraftKings. I was a little shocked at the line. Thought it'd be closer after how close their fight was, literally a draw.
Yeah.
But I get it because Figueiredo does have the power advantage and is the champ. He beat Benavidez twice, and he couldn't catch Moreno in a 5-round fight the first time. Can he catch him within 10? You know what I mean? Give him 10 rounds. Can he catch you? Probably. But I don't hate on anyone for wanting to take Moreno here at plus 195. It's probably the smart bet.
Yeah.
Especially with the wrestling and how Moreno looked so smooth last fight with his movement.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to need to be that on again, which is why I think the line is what it is.
Yeah. It's going to take literally everything you've got plus another 15. Like, you can't even give 110%. You got to give 150%.
Right.
And can you do that for 10 rounds against literally the best guy in the world?
Yeah. So, who do you like? Who are you picking?
Well, I can't not pick Figueiredo in this fight. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about a KO prop for Figueiredo?
I think that's a...
Depends what it is, obviously.
Yeah, I would prefer sub.
Really?
Yeah. I think you get just because I think the numbers will be higher.
Yeah, sure. And that leads us up to the main event. Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori, also second fight. Years apart, though.
Right.
Adesanya is minus 250. Vettori is plus 200. Adesanya is 93 on DraftKings. And Vettori is 6,900. It's kind of a weird fight because Adesanya is defending the belt off a loss.
Yeah.
That loss came out a higher weight division, obviously, to Jan. But did Jan show the blueprint to Vettori on how to beat him?
Right. You got to be 35 pounds heavier. That's the blueprint.
Is that the key?
That is the key.
But the blueprint is there. It's wrestle. And Vettori showed...
Take him down. Vettori's a good wrestler.
Against Kevin Holland, he showed, hey, if you leave a hole, I'll take it. He took Holland down 11 times. Yeah,
I mean, Kevin Holland is probably one of the worst wrestlers at 185.
I'd argue he's the worst wrestler to be in the UFC maybe ever.
That's entirely possible. But definitely at 185. And so maybe Vettori's wrestling looked a little bit better than it is, but if he's got time to, like, if obviously you watched the Blachowicz versus Adesanya fight, He probably put a little extra work into wrestling for this one.
I agree.
And he is fucking so strong.
He's insane. He's a crazy person.
Yes.
He reminds me of the guy that shoots spray paint in his face.
In Mad Max.
In Mad Max.
On the front of the fucking bulldozer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be even crazier than that guy.
He's just eating paint before fights.
Yeah. Like, Marvin, what are you doing? Quit it.
But I think we're getting a little bit of a good line on Adesanya here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to be a little undervalued after
I do too.
A loss to Blachowicz.
And people forget, Adesanya takes this serious. Before the loss to Jan, he was undefeated. People were saying he was going to be champ. It's a little recency bias thinking he's going to lose to Marvin Vettori. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is you want to go basically shoot for like the opposite of the most recent result. You go regression to the mean.
Yeah.
Marvin Vettori looked like an absolute champ against Kevin no wrestle Holland.
Yeah.
And
if you don't think Adesanya is going to come in here with not a little bit improved wrestling, you're out of your mind. The guy knows that.
I think he's probably going to, if you look that bad on the ground against Blachowicz, I think he's probably going to practice wrestling a little more.
Oh, yeah. So prop bets and everything are not out yet. So we will post the official bets to the website as always.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to make a DraftKings lineup yet or no? It's
not yet. Yeah.
It's still early.
Yeah.
I've been messing around with it, but I haven't figured one out yet either. We'll post those to the website, and want to take a quick break and get into
quick break, and then finish the triathlon, the third leg of the triple header.
Alrighty.
All right. See you in a minute.
See ya.